my feelings have changed in that the emotion of sadness and grief has absolutely been a forefront.
My worries are deepening. My family in LA and in Washington State are, again, elderly, underlying, conditions. Um, Washington State's a crazy hot spot.
A little bit more anxious because I think a lot of news is breaking out on how many people are actually dying, and around the world, New York, here in LA, in Asia. Like I said, I have family back home in Japan, and the friends and family that I talked to were kind of hopeful up until maybe last week. And then last weekend, the prime minister called for state of emergency. So finally, they're having people stay home and they're closing businesses for the time being.
I have some wonderful kids that I work with every day. And even though I don't get to see them in person, they've been giving me a lot of hope. We're on spring break this week, so I'm not actually teaching, but the kids have sent me some fun videos of them out doing some dances and some other musical things in their driveways, 6 feet apart, of course, practicing social distancing. But it's been really cool to see them go out and make music together as something to do and something fun. So that has given me a lot of hope.
Those who are on the front lines don't have time to go get food, or they're working extra hours and they eat at irregular hours, and it's just one extra thing in the day that they have to worry about as providing a meal for themselves. So seeing my friends that are in the restaurant industry in hard hit areas donating and supporting our healthcare workers and people that are on the front lines, it's really an incredible thing.
I'm not sure if it's happening in every city, but the past few, I guess the past week, every night at 8 p.m., the city cheers, flickers their lights on and on in their apartments, bringing cowbells, clapping, yelling, singing for celebrating our healthcare workers and saluting them for putting their lives on the line to kind of try to keep us safe and healthy.
As far as the $1 trillion to help small businesses in America, I don't think it's enough. And as of right now, the banks that are helping out with the loans are not caught up to date, and things are just getting delayed, and there's a lot of uncertainty, and you know, so it's going to take a while for all that to get flushed out.
A lot of those businesses were relying on their customers and on sales. And now that they're not considered essential businesses, I think that this government funding and government programs are going to help them just at least stay on their feet and be able to put food on the table and provide for the time being, at least.
I think it will help local communities as long as the money, and the assistance moves quickly. Because every day that this is not here, that the help is not here, we see more businesses going under. We see more folks not being able to pay their bills, and so I'm just hoping that we can expedite this quickly here, as has been promised, by the way, by the federal government.
Every week that passes, more and more millions of people filing for unemployment, facing precarity, not being sure how they're going to pay for rent or how to use the little pool of cash that they have for their basic necessities. And I think what's disheartening is that we know that this is for the long haul.
It looks to me like we're headed, if definitely, for a recession, but also most likely a depression. And so that makes me extremely worried and scared, especially having two children to take care of.
One of the best phrases that my teachers have been using is that they're building the plane as they fly, and that's kind of where we are right now.
I bought a coffee machine because I can't go to the coffee shop that's on my street anymore. And again, I drink two, three, four espressos a day. So I bought a coffee machine Now I can get my coffee every day. So that's been helping out a lot.
My husband and I, we got some deliveries because we decided to support the local businesses because we see signs when we drive around of restaurants saying like we deliver and we have this and that. So I know like everyone's struggling right now. And we want to be safe, but at the same time we want to make sure like our community is going to be okay when it comes back to normal.
My spending habits changed, so I bought Disney Plus and I also bought the Netflix subscription. So I spent money on those, but that's really the only thing that I'm really buying right now.
I've been paying a lot more attention to online ads. When you're scrolling through Instagram and you're looking at your friend's awesome picture, and then all of a sudden, right below that, there's an ad for, an awesome shirt or whatever. I've been paying a lot more attention to those where I think that I used to just scroll past them. And so I have purchased some things based on those online ads. So kudos to the people who are making those.
So before this pandemic, most of my money really went towards hanging out with my friends, going out to lunches and dinner with them, exploring new restaurants in the city of New Orleans.
Seeing dance shows, circus shows, maybe a movie night here and there once in a while.
I spent a lot of money on concerts, spent a lot of money going out to eat with my friends, at the mall especially. I spent a lot of money when I went to the mall just because I would see something and I'm like, oh, I like this. And so I would buy it and I would kind of just keep buying stuff that I liked.
Spending more time with nature, probably going camping as soon as possible, and then getting a haircut.
Dinner with friends, drinks with friends, seeing movies, concerts, that kind of stuff. I also think, um, you know, because for me, that kind of spending is a social activity, and I'm a very extroverted social person, so I enjoy doing those things. So that's something I enjoy spending my money on, experiences.
Travel. I love to travel. I love to go see a new city. I love to also go home and see my friends and family. There's no place like LA, regardless of where you go in the world. So I just can't wait to get back to being able to travel. And then also see a couple new spaces. I mean, this makes you really appreciate being able to travel and see and experience culture and all that, just because right now you literally can't. So now I'm sure, like a lot of people, once we're back cleared to move around like we want, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people doing a lot more traveling.
Every time I want to get something, I'm asking myself, is this absolutely necessary? And if it's not necessary, then I'm passing over.
My decision making process has definitely changed, and I'm just thinking much more long term, and I'm having a much more honest conversation with myself around what is considered essential and necessary and what is not.
Do I actually need it at the moment? So when it comes to groceries, do I actually need to go to the grocery store and get something? Do I actually need to go out to obtain a certain item, or are the things that I have at home currently enough?
And then now that I have a coffee machine, I might not go to the coffee shop as much anymore. But we'll see about that. I'm sure I'll pop into a few coffee shops every now and then. I always love to catch a vibe of a coffee shop. So we'll see how that goes. But
We could have like a new sense of what's important or what works and what's not needed. I feel like, and what we consider to be like what's even fun.
I know after this we're not going to come out the same. I know I definitely will not. There's a lot more thoughtfulness that I'm hoping to embody after this, and a lot more mindfulness about my decisions, my space. I really say we gotta buckle up, and we are in for a long and bumpy ride.